hopefully we are now up and running with a decent connection, and we can try again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Ian, forgive me if we start from the top again.
Yeah.
You're obviously not a bot, but are you a Kremlin-controlled troll? And if not, why is it that so many of your tweets seem to follow exactly the Russian government line?
I don't follow the Russian government line. I tell the truth. All my tweets tell the truth about what's going on. If the UK government lie about something, which they do all the time about foreign policy or the wars, they do all the time, I will call them out on how they're lying, what the truth is, how they're lying, why they're lying, etc. Now, if I'm telling the truth and the Russian government also decide to tell the truth about what's going on, we're going to agree. The truth is the truth.
And do you think the Russian government is telling the truth?
Well, the Russian government will say what they want to say. So they will tell the truth about some things and they'll lie about other things. All governments lie. All governments lie. So it depends. I mean, it depends on the specific thing. Where is the evidence? What is it? Does the evidence agree with what people are saying? Well, the evidence definitely says that Theresa May and Boris Johnson, the entire UK government and the UK Parliament, 500 out of the 600 MPs, were all lying their ass off. Most of the MPs are totally ignorant, so they wouldn't know their arse from their elbow. So, telling the truth is the truth. Gandhi said, you tell the truth. Even if you're only one voice telling the truth, you tell the truth.
Can I just ask you, it's the Russian government's position that the apparent chemical attack in Duma was a so-called false flag operation?
Yeah, it was a staged event. It was a staged event.
Right. Can I just run you through a few other recent events, and you can tell me whether you think they were staged or false flags or not. So, the chemical attack in Duma.
That was staged by the Jais al-Islam extremist Salafi terrorists that have occupied that area for years, and Assad was fighting them.
What about the poisoning of Sergei and Yulia Skripal in Salisbury?
Okay, I do not know how Sergei Skripal and Yulia Skripal were poisoned. There is no good evidence and no credible evidence to tell me at the moment how and by what and by who they were poisoned. I do not know. I know that the UK government lied about it. They lied their ass off. Theresa May lied. She said the Russians were the only ones who could produce Novichok. That is an absolute lie. Anybody with a chemical weapons lab can produce Novichok. It's not very difficult. 20 countries could have produced it.
What about the shooting down of MH17, the airliner over Ukraine in 2014?
Okay. Who had a motive to shoot down the airliner MH17? Who do you think had a motive to do it? Who benefited from MH17 being shot down? Can you tell me? Who do you think benefited?
Well, that's certainly the Russian line. I'm just
No. You answer the question. You be honest with me. What do you think is what's the motive? Who benefited from MH17 being shot down?
I have no idea, but I'm just interested.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do know.
Track very closely.
No, you know, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work it out. There were two suspects. For shooting down MH17, weren't there? One was it was either the rebels or some Russian involvement, which is the official narrative, isn't it? That it was the rebels or, some Russian involvement. That is one suspect. The other suspect is that the Ukraine government that was installed in a coup d'etat, an illegal coup d'etat that was a bunch of corrupt oligarchs, just like there were previous government, totally corrupt, but also a bunch of neo-Nazis.
And which of those do you think did it?
I'll tell you. If you gave me 20 minutes to explain, I would tell you.
Sadly, we don't have 20 minutes. All right, but I take it that you think it was the Ukrainians rather than the Russian-backed rebels.
Well, you tell me where the evidence of a Buck missile launch is. Where are all the dozens of pictures of a Buck missile trail? There aren't any.
I'm just asking you which version you believe.
The evidence says no Buck missile was shot from anywhere. If you can show me any evidence of a Buck missile being launched, a CIA satellite picture, an infrared image, or somebody taking a picture of a white rocket tail reaching right up to the sky forever, because it's unmissable. The rocket trail of a Buck missile lasts for about 15 minutes.
Investigation. Can I ask you?
No, the body of the JIT report said, the evidence in the JIT report, in the body of that report, said it wasn't a Buck missile launched from near head-on, because the evidence doesn't support that narrative.
Can I ask you about another incident, the chemical attack in Khan Sheikhoun in Syria in April last year? Do you think that was a false flag?
That was an obviously staged event by the al-Nusra terrorists that occupied that town and that area, and by the White Helmets. Falsified videos. And I will give you a blog post. I have written the evidence up.
In fact, that it was a chemical attack carried out by the Syrian government.
It wasn't a chemical attack carried out by the Syrian government. If you go into the evidence about the Khan Sheikhoun attack, the CIA know that it wasn't Assad that did it. The CIA know. It's obvious. Right? I'll give you the evidence of the actual evidence of what Khan Sheikhoun happened. Right? Theodore Postel, who is a chemical weapons expert at MIT in America, he's a professor, and his specialism is chemical weapons and the munitions to fire them. And he's done an analysis on it. And he's looked at the crater and he said, well, that wasn't dropped from a plane. The supposed crater that released the sarin, that canister, there's a tube, a rocket tube, like you might put a poster in. Okay, it's a cylindrical canister. Okay, and supposedly dropped from a plane and made a crater. Well, chemical weapons don't make craters. You see?
Can I just move on slightly?
Well, I will give you my write-ups of all these events, and you can read them because I've documented what the actual evidence is. I don't make a conclusion out of thin air with no evidence.
Can I just ask you? Do you tweet a lot?
Yes.
You tweet an awful lot every day. Do you coordinate your tweets with anybody else?
Absolutely nobody else. I do talk to other people privately, and there's a couple of other people that I talk to, and they might do a tweet and they ask me to retweet it or something, and that's the limit. All my tweets are me and me alone. Because
the accusation against you is that you're part of a Kremlin-controlled network.
No, I am not controlled by anybody, anywhere in the world. I do my own thing. I am interested in analysing the evidence of what is going on in these wars. I look at the evidence. I look at the reports. I look at the credible journalists that are producing reports that are preferably on the ground in the area, but at least visit nearby and know the area and know the various terrorist groups that are operating there, what Assad is up to, and whatever else. There's lots of credible people that are reporting on them, but there are none, absolutely none, in Western media anywhere, mainstream media. There are no credible journalists anywhere in mainstream media. They lie. They just parrot whatever the government lies on. So the UK government is going to lie all the time because they're up to no good.
But your tweets seem to parrot whatever the Russian government.
Well, because if the Russians are telling the truth about something, I'm going to agree with them because I report the truth. When I don't agree with, I don't go and see what the Russian government is saying. If Lavrov or something does a press conference, then I might tweet it out. Doesn't mean that I believe every word that he says, but that's what the Russian position is. Okay? But I don't just parrot it, and like a BBC journalist will do. A BBC Theresa May says something. It's totally ridiculous, obviously totally false, and the BBC just parrot it without question. That's what's going on. The press, the BBC, and the newspapers and the other media are supposed to be the fourth estate. The fourth estate is supposed to question what the government says and check the validity or otherwise of it. And if the government tells a lie, they're supposed to report that they're lying. And they do not do that. They are parrots. They're stenographers. This is not journalism. This is like Goebbels' Ministry of Propaganda. The BBC is Goebbels' Ministry of Propaganda. Orwell based his Ministry of Truth on the BBC from his experience of working at the BBC during World War II, and that's how he created the Ministry of Truth in 1984. He based it on the BBC. And the BBC's only got worse since then.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Yes, I've got your opinion of the BBC. I've heard it loud and clear. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. That was very kind of you. So
now you're going to label me as a conspiracy nut because I don't believe everything the UK government says, are you?
I'm not going to label you as anything, Ian. I'm just going to.
Okay, good.
Some of what you said.
I will supply. If you want me to put my side of the case to demonstrate the evidence of what I am saying, I will give you the articles that I've written on my blog that says the evidence that I've based my conclusions on.
Yes, please do send me a link to those. Can I just ask you a little bit of biographical detail? What's your sort of background? What kind of job did you do?
I used to be an IT project manager, managing a team of 50 people, sometimes more.
Right. Okay.
I'm doing internet projects on the net.
Right. Okay. And are you retired now?
I am retired. Yes.
Okay. Great. And how long have you been interested in this kind of area of politics that we're talking about?
Since January 2002, when I first woke up to the fact that Dick Cheney and the Peanut Gang were going to use 9/11 to mount as the pretext to mount a disastrous invasion of Iraq, which would, when Saddam Hussein had nothing whatsoever to do with 9/11 and had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda, because Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein were ideological enemies. And Saddam Hussein used to hang Islamic extremists like Osama bin Laden because he ran a secular government and they were a threat to his power. So there were no Al-Qaeda type terrorists in Iraq before the invasion. There was loads afterwards.
All right.
The US and UK governments created them deliberately.
Thank you very much, Ian. It's been very interesting talking to you. It'll go out tomorrow night on Newsnight, BBC Two.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.